Hi guys, my name is Tomcat and welcome back to Forza Horizon 4 for a look at the brand new 94 Prelude SI, and I'm actually going to be showing you guys how to get this car after we do a quick tour of it and we also do a couple of other things with it. But what I'm going to be showing you first off is the championship that you're going to have to do to get it, because it was weird. I didn't actually know which championship I was supposed to do. It was weird. Like, they say, oh yeah, do the community championship, but you end up walking around in circles trying to figure out which place you need to go. But regardless, the community championship that you will want is this. Now, it's really this is the first one in that seasonal championship, and it's basically modern sports cars, 100 to 900 PI. It's very simple. You have mountain racing, you have this mountain circuit up here, and then you end up having another race around this area, and then you end up having another race that's kind of, they're all fairly simple races. They really are, but the routes are very creative. The routes are very creative, and there'll be things that you haven't really experienced before. But what I'm curious about is seeing whether or not those back wheels actually turn a little bit, which I don't think they do. Yeah, I don't think they do. It sounds like a Honda. Let's see if it actually has a proper VTEC changeover. Let's see. There it is. That's super defined. This interior, I forgot how weird and quirky these interiors were. They're very different with that swooping dash. Like, I tried to say sweeping and swooping at the same time, but no, it's like a sweeping dash that goes right across the, like, it's this unbroken line, and it's really cool looking. But no, it definitely gives you that VTEC sensation. Let me hear it one more time. I want to hear it in second gear. It seems to happen at about 6,000 RPM. Right there! And again, since it's a Honda, you have to give it a couple of bangs of the rev limiter before you shift. So, without any further ado, I'm thinking about doing a stock versus tune. Well, I thought about it before I jumped into this video, and then I was like, you know what? You know what? Let's do that, because it's a new car, right? First off, it's a new car, and also, what better way to bring it into, to kind of bring it into the game, like, and show it to you guys on my channel, than to do a stock versus tuned. Now, it's interesting because I'm not setting the first speed with the stock car that we're going to be racing it against. I'm setting the speed with the stock Prelude, just because I want to see how slow it is. So we're going to bring it up to the line, and we're going to do a very Honda-ish launch. Got it. It drops way out of VTEC when you shift it. Like, way, way, way out of VTEC. It's not very fast. I wasn't expecting it to be, but it's still not very fast at all. I just always loved the fact that, like, I loved the body style, but I hated the fact that it was front-wheel drive. You know what I mean? It's like this body style would have been so cool rear-wheel drive. Okay, so we ran a 118. So 118, in the grand scheme of things, is pretty slow. So what we want to do now is find a stock car to race it against. I'm thinking stock supercar of some kind. Well, after much consideration, actually more like 15 seconds of consideration, we've decided to go with, or I've decided to go with the Hellcat. And it's not necessarily a supercar, it's more of a muscle car, but I was thinking to myself, I was like, what would a tuned Prelude actually street race against, right? If you had a crazy built turbo Prelude and you were, you thought it was fast and you were running around on the street, what would you try to race? Muscle cars. And what better muscle car to street race than a Hellcat? So, compared to the stock 118 that Prelude ran, let's see what a stock Hellcat will run. Well, it'll do a burnout in first, and a burnout in some of second, and a spin into third, which is, again, Exactly what a Hellcat is built to do. Okay, we're already faster than the Prelude's trap speed, so this is going to be bad on the Prelude. But remember, we haven't tuned the Prelude yet. And 169 miles an hour. Okay, so 169 miles an hour to beat out of the Hellcat. Let's go back to the shop and see what we can squeeze out of that Prelude once it is fully built. So now we are back at the shop in the Prelude, and it's time to build this thing. Now, once it is fully built, I'm not sure off the top of my head how much power it's going to make. I'm going to venture a guess it's going to be between 400 and 500 horsepower, but we have yet to see because I've never built one of these before. So we could do single turbo or positive displacement supercharger. I'm going to do a single turbo because I feel like it's going to be more effective. Now, if we did want to engine swap this car, we have a few options. We have 3.2 liter inline 6, we have 2 liter inline 4 turbo, and we have 1.6 turbo rally engine, which is an interesting lineup of swaps, I have to say. So let's handle suspension and brakes first, so that's all done and out of the way, and we don't have to think about it. You do have drift suspension available for this car. You have a rally suspension as well. You can pretty much set it up with whatever suspension you want for whatever task you want. Race weight reduction is also happening, which should pose a massive improvement to the car in a straight line, in the corners, pretty much everywhere. And now we set off to build the engine. Now, once the engine is done, like I said, I'm predicting somewhere between 400 and 500 horsepower. If it goes well beyond that, I will be very surprised. But we're not going to look at the final numbers until the entire build is complete. And once the entire build is complete, then I guess we'll have our figures. So, almost there. Throw the flywheel in, and 567 horsepower and 465 foot-pounds of torque, weighing in at 2,413 pounds. Pretty good numbers. So now that we have those numbers, I think the best thing to do is going to be to obviously finish out the car build. I mean, I'm not going to go out there with a stock transmission and a stock clutch. If we had any resemblance of real-life reliability simulation, that wouldn't work. So we're going to run race tires on this car because I kind of want this to be an all-rounder, not just a drag car. So let's see. We're going to be able to correct the wheel spacing as well, which is going to be really nice. But sport wheel style, I kind of want something classic. I like these. I like these a lot, actually. I know the Super Advans are tempting, but I feel like a lot of people in the comments are going to dislike the Super Advans, and I think the RG2s look a little better. So let's run... I don't think 17s... let's run a 16. Normally, I don't run 16s on my cars. Normally, I would run a 17, but I feel like the 17s look a little big for this car. So, in order to make them flush, you do have to space them out quite a bit, but once they get there, they do look very good. So, aero and appearance-wise, we don't have anything, really, for aero and appearance, aside from removing the rear wing, adding a Forza wing, or leaving the stock wing. I'm going to leave the stock wing because I think it looks good, and without any further ado, it's time to head out to the highway and see what this little Prelude has. All right, first drive in our 567 front wheel horsepower Prelude. Let's ease into it. I'm sure it'll blow the tires off. Jeez! It blew them off in third. God, all right. It's very quick. Honestly, it sounds really good, though. At least I think it sounds good. Listen to it. It's very aggressive sounding, like super aggressive sounding. I think it sounds very, like, when you listen to a lot of, like, you know, race-prepped Hondas, this kind of sounds a lot like that. And finally, without any further ado, we get to see what it will do on the highway up against the speed set by that Hellcat. So, 169 miles an hour. We'll see if this little Prelude can come even close to that. Let's do a boosted launch. And go! Oh, bro, you don't want to race my Prelude, bro. Nope. Come on! Oh, we're going to beat it. Oh, we beat it! Oh, dude, 184 miles per hour. That's pretty stout for a Prelude. That is pretty damn stout for a Prelude. What kind of stats are we running? Jeez, 32 pounds of boost. That's so much. That's way more than I would have ever expected. Like, that's so much boost. Most cars don't even run that much. I mean, hell, even like the ones that are like crazy, insane numbers don't even run that much boost. God, I wish they would let me put 32 pounds of freaking boost in some of the other cars in this game. They would make insane power. And really, we wouldn't have to worry about them blowing up because Forza doesn't simulate exploded engines or spun rod bearings or rods and pistons in the atmosphere. So who cares? All the boost to all the things. I want to do 200 in it. I want to do 200. I'm not giving up now. Come on. 8, 9, 200. It flashed. It flickered there for a second. 7, 8, 9, 200, 201, 202. And I haven't even touched the gearing. That's the crazy part. Wow. This little Prelude impressed me. This little Prelude really impressed me. I highly recommend doing that community championship and picking yourself up one of these because it's actually really, really fun and it sounds good. And even if you're not a front wheel drive guy, I mean, hell, you could convert it to rear wheel drive, make it a drift car if you wanted, and you'd still have that great sound. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe for more. And I will see you guys in the next one. Talk to y'all later.